Habari Gani? That sounds a little weak. Habari Gani? One more time. Habari Gani? Yeah, bring the ancestors, the spirits of the ancestors. Let them know that we are with them and they are with us. Brother, you want to come up? BDC. Oh, Kiwai Gasa. They got a little bit of Creole. Okay. Before we begin, I think maybe we could pick Baba Otoja. We're asking permission to speak. Do we have permission?
Granted. Permission granted.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks.
And why do we do that?
Why do we do that?
Yeah.
Out of respect. Is there something else? African tradition? Okay. Well, it's natural, it's out of respect. All right, but yeah, that's what's up. Give thanks. I appreciate that. All right, everybody, if we could just gather around so we can get this thing started.
Yeah, the reason why he asked the elders for permission to speak.
You want to use the mic?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope I don't need the mic. He asked the elders for permission to speak because in this paradigm that we're in, we show respect, not to the person that have read the most books, that have did the most travel, or the person that is smartest, or that's drive the biggest car, or has the biggest credit card, but we show respect to the elders because they came into, one thing the elders possess is they possess the snapshot of this reality before anybody. So what we do before we start, we switch back to how we used to be by showing respect. Before we even speak, we ask the elders for permission to just even speak. So what we do is we say, elders, may I have permission to speak? And they would, Ashe, or yes.
You got one Ashe and another Ashe. And for those who don't know what Ashe is, what it means so it is done.
And that means that what's happening is they are in charge. So they could say, no, I don't want you to speak. We need to resolve this issue first. So the power that's possessing the elders is the power to control this whole paradigm. Because they may see something that's out of place. They may not want to hear from a particular person because they haven't been right to the community. And at that moment, regardless of what event going on, they can stop it right there. So we're teaching the young people that your life, fulfill your life by becoming an elder. So you want to live a long time so you have that power within yourself. So the elders control everything here. They can stop this program anytime they want to and say just stop. It doesn't matter whether they're an elected official or what. It's just the fact that they're an elder. Ashe? Ashe.
And on that note, give a strong black hand to Brother Teddy. And the brother's going to do libations in Creole. A show of hands. Anybody not familiar with libations? Not familiar with libations. Raise your hand high so we can just, there's nothing wrong with not knowing. Okay. We pull okay, you know what? I'm going to let Brother Teddy explain libations, all right? And then after Brother Teddy, then we're going to do it in English, all right? One more time, a strong black hand for the brother.
All right.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be amongst you all here today. My name is Brother Terry. Brother Agba had asked me to do the libation here today in Haitian, in Creole. I guess he wants to combine all the African and cosmic and universal energies here together, which is a good thing. So just bear with me for a minute. But before I start, basically libation is a way to not only connect with the ancestors, to pay homage and to reveal them. Those of you who are not familiar, you're about to see what I'm planning to do, is just call upon them to ask them to be within this realm with us and to witness what's going on here. And every time we go somewhere or we're doing ritual, we tend to do a libation just to honor them and to pay respect and to ask them to be amongst us. because we are them, although some of us may not know, they live within us and they'll continue to live within us. We are the ancestors and the ancestors are us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Merci.
Aye, Bobo.
Merci. Beaucoup.
Nan nou pa parlo du mari, toute force cosmique, universelle qui entoure nous aujourd'hui là. N'a dit merci. Merci à toute Sun Power, à toute force qui est invisible, tout ça qui entoure nous là, t'a kembe nous, t'a continuer marcher avec nous. Nous remercions pour toujours kembe nous, pour toujours accompagner nous dans tout ça n'a fait. N'a demandé pour continuer veiller sur nous. N'a demandé pour guider nous, pour bénir nous dans tout ça fait. Nous les les ancêtres, nous pas ici qui devant nous là. Nous disons merci pour toute force, pour tout ça que fait pour nous dans la vie, nous. Guider nous, protéger nous. Tout côté nous mettre pied, nous demandons pour toujours assister nous, pour ne pas oublier nous. Pour tout ça nous fait dans la vie, nous pour nous faire pour eux, car à travers nous-mêmes, ils vivent, ils continuent à survivre. Nous demandons papa pour continuer à bénir nous. Veillez sur chaque monde qui est là, je dis. Qu'est-ce que nous fait tout ça qu'a fait là, qu'a fait selon gloire, volonté. Continuez à bénir nous, continuez à accompagner nous, continuez à nous force, pas quitter nous tourner dos vers les ancêtres, pas quitter nous tourner dos vers toute force qui accompagne nous. Nous disons merci pour ça.
Hey, Bobo.
Merci.
You got more work to do.
Got more work to do.
Oh.
Four corners.
Nous avons continué à remercier tout esprit vent, esprit du feu, esprit terre, esprit de l'eau. Tous les 4 éléments qui accompagnent nous là, qui vivent dans nous-mêmes, qui résident dans nous-mêmes. Nous avons dit pour continuer à nous, guider nous, pour continuer à rester avec nous, servir nous comme lumière, comme guide, servir nous comme boussole dans tout ça la fait dans la vie. Nous-mêmes qui connaissons côté nous sortir, et côté nous pour aller, et ça qui perdu, qui peut retrouver, nous-mêmes qui peut reconnaître. Il faut une action nous qui chercher tribo babo qui est veiller sur eux, guider, diriger, accompagner. Permettre nous qu'aujourd'hui, qu'on vienne retrouver tête tout, pour qu'on entrer dans eux-mêmes, pour venir reconnecter avec les ancêtres, avec le passé, avec la culture, avec frères, avec sœurs. Nous remercions les ancêtres, chaque monde qui est là, je dis à ici, frères, avec sœurs, noir, blanc, rouge, pagnol, n'importe côté de sortie, n'importe race, n'importe croyance culturelle, spirituelle, religieuse, la trier. Nous demandons des ancêtres, famille, beaucoup de mamans, nous, des ancêtres, beaucoup de papas, chaque monde qui est là, pour continuer à accompagner nous, continuer à veiller sur nous. Tout ça qu'on a fait là, qu'on a fait dans la gloire, qu'on a fait selon eux-mêmes, pour nous honorer, pour nous révérer, pour nous payer le respect que nous méritons, pour nous dire nous pas oublier, nous toujours été connectés ensemble avec eux. À chaque fois, nous lever pied nous pour nous sortir, pour nous prendre route, n'importe côté nous pour aller, pour continuer à veiller sur nous, guider nous, diriger nous, pour continuer à accompagner nous, tout ça qu'on a fait dans la vie, nous, et pour qu'on nous dans la lumière, dans la force, pour nous toujours monter vers la lumière, pour ne pas jamais retourner garder. Nous disons merci pour ça.
Hey, Bobo.
Nous avons dit merci à Gardien qui fait partie sud, là, qui a gardé nos babos ici, là, pour continuer à guider nous, pour continuer à briller, qui des yeux fixés sur nous. Chaque monde qui est là, il peut un bagage qui est différent. Chaque monde qui est là, il y a un bagage qui est connecté l'un à l'autre. Pour l'humanité, tout entier est capable de reconnaître un jour que la lumière est brille dans nous tous, pour nous chasser toute force fer noire, toute vieille bagage maléfique, toute vieille bagage qui est négatif, pour nous purifier tête nous, pour nous nettoyer tête nous, pour nous capables de mettre force divine dans nous-mêmes, pour nous capables de reconnecter avec la nature encore, pour nous capables de reconnecter avec pied bois, avec source de l'eau, avec bête, animaux. Tout ça qui gagne souffle, tout ça qui a respiré, il fait partie de nous-mêmes pour nous capables fonctionner ensemble avec encore. Et l'activité ça qu'a fait par ici, nous demandons pour continuer à bénir, nous avons organisé. Chaque monde qui est là pour ton bagaille, pour contribuer ensemble, pour être capable de quitter la béni, pour sentir force, courageux, tout là ensemble avec nous. Pour nous capable de servir en équipe, pour nous capable de servir comme force qui a fait un combat ensemble. Côté que nous pas gagner noir, blanc, pagnol, chinois, etc. Côté que nous tout à fond seul. One world, one humanity. Aïe, bobo.
Ashe.
Aye, Bobo.
Aye, Bobo.
So what we did is we asked the elders for permission to speak, and then we went to the ancestral realm. Because what we do is this, what we see, there's more to reality than this. So they say that if we stand tall and we're proud, it's because we stand on the backs of those who came before us. So in order to acknowledge that, before we drink from the unity cup, we will pour libations to them. Some of those ancestors are in our family line. They're no longer here. They may be our cousins, our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, our uncles, our friends, but they're no longer in this realm. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is you think about them from time to time, but now you're going to call their name out, and before we pass the unity cup around, we're going to pour libations to those who came before us, those whose backs we stand on top of us, who allow us to stand tall. Call their names out.
Rooster Bear.
Ashe. Call them out.
Imani over Gani.
Call them out.
Mother Moore.
Call them out.
Spade.
Call them out.
Dominic. Mickey.
Ashe. Call them out. Ashe. Call them out.
Marcus Garvey.
Ashe. Call them out.
Emoji Jaga.
Ashe. Call them out. Your family members do.
Queen Mother Moore.
Ashe. 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 Ashe.
Ray Slade, Solomon G. Slade.
Robert Watson.
Ashe.
Henry Elijah James, Francis Augustus Smith James,
Ashe.
Edwin McCabe.
Ashe.
Henry James,
Ashe.
Nick James,
Ashe.
Albert James,
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Tonga Zumba,
Ashe.
Zumbi,
Ashe.
Nanny of the Maroons,
Ashe.
Sankara.
Ashe.
Angela Davis.
Ashe.
Tupac Shakur.
Ashe.
Kwame Nkrumah,
Ashe. Ashe. As they live, let them always be remembered. Ashe? Ashe. Ashe? Ashe. Ashe.
Hi, Bobo.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, the brother's going to take the program, but as he takes the program, we will pass the unity cup around. We do not drink it, we just do the symbolic gesture and just pass it because it's a unity cup. Ashe? Ashe.
Because it's COVID.
And COVID. So we'll just pass it around to the next person.
you,
Coming up next, we got Sister Charlene from Spade Museum. Give us a strong black hand.
Greetings, welcome everyone. We are so happy you are here. We are the Spade Cultural Heritage Museum, a Black History Museum and Cultural Center, located in the former home of Solomon David Spade. Mr. Spade's spirit is all around us. He loved people. He loved his people. And therefore, you have a welcoming feeling when you come on the grounds of the Spade Museum. Kwanzaa and Kumba Village is one of the things that we do on an annual basis to bring our people together in one accord, to have a spiritual connection with each other. If we can get rid of this COVID, we will get our numbers back up. We are so happy you are here. Please visit our venues and enjoy your day. Thank you very much.
Sankofa Study Group. Come forward, Elder. Give Margaret a strong black hand.
Thank you. Habari Gani, everyone.
UMOjA.
Habari Gani. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Sankofa Study Group. There are a number of members who are here. We're located in Palm Beach County, but we also have members from Fort Lauderdale and South, and also some from West Palm. We are a study group of only one thing, and that is us. We do not study about ants, and we don't study about crocodiles. We study about black people, us, all of our studies. And right now we are studying a book. Akbar, where's Akbar?
It's over here, to your left.
All right, to my left, Akbar. What's the name of the book we're studying?
Amos Wilson Blueprint for Black Power.
Okay.
It's 900 pages, so it's for serious readers. 900 pages.
And so thank you for your support. Also, I noticed Kepra was not on the program list, but Kepra is our brother and our sister, and we do things together. So Sankofa in Palm Beach County, Kepra in Miami-Dade and Broward County. So please come and join us. We are, get on our list and we'll send information to you. We are on Zoom right now. We tried to get back on regular programming, so to speak, but somebody with an O kind of knocked that out the box. Be that as it may, we meet no matter what. So if you want to be a part of us, and by the way, be a part of us. Am I missing anything? Because I know everybody in that group in Sankofa, they're listening to what I'm saying, and what am I missing?
Last Saturday of every month.
All right, see, I knew I was going to miss something. Last Saturday of every month, everyone, and thank you very much for coming to our Kwanzaa.
How do you connect with your group?
We connect through Akbar and Pyramid Books. So just go on the internet, get pyramidbooks.com. You'll get our telephone number, 561. What is it, 737 Akbar?
731-4422.
731-4422. Come if you want to, because we want to see you. Oh, and by the way, if you like to read, you'll love us even more. If you like to learn, you'll love us even more than that. If you like to study, you'll love us even more than that. If you like being with folk like you, you really love us. Thank you.
Give a strong black. Come on, get some energy, get some energy. And remember, those who read, lead. Next coming up, Sister Charlene's coming back up. Give a strong black hand one more time.
So this time I'm representing Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. We are the blue and white. All the Zeta ladies in the audience, make some noise. Today, Zeta Phi Beta is here. We have information on mental health care, and we also have gift bags of items to give away, fruit for anyone who would like to partake. We are a national organization, and we partner with Pyramid Books and the Spade Museum to host Kwanzaa every year. So, thank you for being here.
Strong black hand, strong black hand. Get some energy, get some energy. And Kwanzaa 365 Live is next. I am the male co-chair. This is Sister Sophia, she's the female co-chair. First of all, let me just say that we are honored to be the guest of the Spade Museum. This is our first time here, so hopefully, and definitely will not be our last time here. So, and we're going to make sure that everybody south of us gets the word about the Spade Museum and come check this beautiful space out and get some education. All right. Real quick, just let me just read our mission statement for 365. We have a newsletter is on that table over there. It's free. Grab one. We got a sign-in sheet also if you want to get your monthly newsletter via email, Facebook, whatever. All the information is over there. We got together and we came up with this. This is our mission statement. Our mission is to establish a solid foundation for our community by implementing the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, known as the Nguzo Saba, as a way of life and a unifying worldview and universal standard for community thought, speech, and behavior. So again, we're honored to be here, and we hope we're going to have a really awesome UMOjA celebration. And if you want, in the newsletter, we have a whole week filled out. So if you want to come check us, we got flyers and we got newsletters with this information. So Sophia, you want to say a word or two?
Greetings, everyone. I am Sophia of Cultural Expressions, a community yoga, dance, art, life studio located in Hollywood, Florida, where we have children's programs, the summer programs. We also have fitness for elders, fitness for babies, fitness for women who have the babies in their womb still, okay? So we're talking about fitness for everyone, and also it's yoga, dance, art, and life. So it's about life, it's about spreading unity, and the reason why we came up with 365 Kwanzaa Live is because the brother here from Miami called me last during COVID and said, sis, are you still gonna do the 7 days of Kwanzaa? I said, I know COVID's going on, I'm gonna do the best I can. He said, I tell you what, I'll do 2 of the days, UMOjA and Kuja Chagalia, if you can do a couple of days. Do you know anybody else that can do a couple of days? I said, yes. The Kuumba house will take 2, Ujima and Ujima. And so I did Nia and also Kuumba, and we always go deep to Florida to Haile Selassie Educational Center for Imani. So the idea was to connect. I said, you know what we need to do? We need to connect all the counties, starting at the top of Florida and working our way down, and we all just support each other. UMOjA, unity. So that's what the idea was, and also to promote our businesses and to network with each other. That's power in numbers, right? Yes. So peace and thank you for. We're honored to be here. Very honored to be here.
Yes, we have the website Kwanzaa365live.com. So also real quick, I think. You know what? I'll do that after. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, no, I'm trying to see. Okay, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do a PSA right after this. Okay, everybody, we're gonna be. Okay, we need crowd participation. So if anybody in the back, can you just come up front really quick if you can, please, anybody, and have a seat. And if you don't have a copy of the Black National Anthem, I have copies here, so we can all sing along and get that vibration going. Anybody? Can you, brother? Can you pass? Can you just grab those papers? Take those letters and that right there. Yeah, give those out. Yeah.
I'm not sure who has one.
Oh, raise your hand if you need one. Raise your hand if you need one. Right there. Right there in the back. As we're giving them out, let me introduce to you the proprietor of the House of Kuumba, Baba Shango. Give him a strong black hand. Strong black hand. Come on, I want to hear some noise. There we go.
Gani! UMOjA! There you go. Now, if we hand these sheet sheets out, it's called a teleprompter, because we hand them out because we don't know it verbatim. The idea is to know it verbatim, put it in your soul, in your mind, and your spirit, and let the children know about it. See, when they know about it, then we get stronger, because generational information, generational power has to happen for us to survive as a group of people. The first thing the opposing forces do is attack the smallest element of the rebirth of the generation. That's in the womb.
Look in front of you.
Oh.
No.
We good? Everybody got one? I don't think I need this. Let's turn it off then. Cut it off, wait, cut it off. Right there. Hey, got it? See, and it's your job. I'm giving everybody a task. Just reproduce them and give them to people. Reproduce them and give them to people. The copies are made in blood. That's the blood of our ancestors. That's the blood of the pain and suffering, the stringing up and the lynching and
5,000 lynchings from 1872 to 1950. 5,000 official lynchings. We ain't talking about the unofficial lynchings. But they got together, when they did get together, in the churches and all the other areas of congregate, they sung this song. So we're gonna sing this song.
Stand up.
And we're gonna stand up because it's powerful. It's a powerful song and it's a recognition of the ancestors. We ready? Everybody good?
Yeah.
So you guys copy it, take it home, and make some copies. Everybody can make some copies. So next time we show up next year, we don't need no cheat sheet. We don't need no teleprompter. Are you ready?
I shake.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Lift up your voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song for the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song for the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road retrod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a safely, not on a weary feet, come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the sword. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on to victory. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who has helped us thus far on the way, thou who has by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Bless our feet, strengthen the places of God where we met thee. Bless our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world we forget. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our native land. Next year, we'll get stronger. That's the goal. We got 365 days, hotel.
Sekou in the house? Brother Sekou. Kumoye.
Habari, Gani.
UMOjA!
All right, y'all. It's an honor to be here. I want to thank everyone for coming out today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. My name is Brother Sekou. I'm a Capoeira Angola practitioner. And I have some of my co-practitioners with me. And we're here today to present to you Capoeira Angola. Anyone's heard of Capoeira Angola? Or Capoeira? So we have a few hands. A little brief history. Capoeira is a martial art that originally originated in Central Africa. It was brought to Brazil by the enslaved Africans, and those who managed to escape and took off to the hills and created their own communities, which they call the Quilombos, and those self-governed areas where escape of freed enslaved Africans were able to come together and create this beautiful art form. All right, so it's a mixture of dance and fighting techniques, acrobatics. It's also comedy and life in general. All elements of life is incorporated in this beautiful art. Singing, instrumentations were incorporated in the art over time to sort of hide it from the masters from seeing that they were actually practicing a deadly form of martial art. So they incorporated music. All right, so we're gonna begin with some music for you guys and go from there, all right? Okay, y'all ready? All right, here we go. Capoeira music and the songs are sung, of course, in Brazilian Portuguese, since the Africans were enslaved by the Portuguese, so hence they speak Portuguese. But over the years, as capoeira has grown, a lot of attempts have been being made to introduce traditional languages. For example, Ubuntu from Angola, to the game of capoeira. So I have a beautiful song I want to teach you all. It was taught to me by a brother from Angola, and it goes like this, y'all. So the words are two words, basically. Twapandula. Can you guys say Twapandula? Twapandula. 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 Sukuyange. Sukuyange. Twapandula Sukuyange. Twapandula Sukuyange. Twapandula Sukuyange. Twapandula Sukuyange. So here's the melody. It goes like this. Twapandula. Twapandula, Twapandula Sukuyange, Twapandula, 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 Twapandula Sukuyange, Twapandula, 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 Twapandula Sukuyange, Twapandula. Twapandula, Twapandula, Twapandula Sukuyange, Twapandula, Suku yange twapandula. Suku yange twapandula. Suku yange twapandula. Suku yange twapandula. Twapandula. Twapandula suku yange twapandula. Twapandula suku yange twapandula. 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 Twapandula suku yange twapandula. 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 Twapandula suku yange twapandula. 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 Yay.
So this song basically translates we give thanks. We give thanks.
Oh, the mic again. Yeah, so in the song we're saying we give thanks. We give thanks for all we have. We give thanks for God for all that He's blessed us with. Okay, so that's what the meaning of the song is. So we give thanks for Capoeira because Capoeira reconnects us to our ancestors. You know, I personally practice Capoeira. It's a ritual thing for me. I do it daily, even if I'm not in movement. I'm thinking of a song. I'm thinking of a rhythm on the beating bow or just practicing movement. So I'm going to pass the mic on to Naomi, and she's going to share with you all her experience and her thoughts on Capoeira.
Okay, thanks, Baba Sekou. Greetings. My name is Naomi. It's nice to be here with you all. Habari Gani.
UMOjA.
Hey. So I came into Capoeira Angola looking for a Disney princess that looked like me back in the 90s, and I couldn't find one. So I went in the library and saw something called Princess Diaries, Queen Nzinga, Princess Nzinga. So I researched Princess Nzinga in Bandi Arma, and I learned that she protected Angola for 40 years against the Portuguese and the Dutch, uniting Intamba and Ndogo since they colonized Luanda. And she was the first Pan-African queen going back and forth from Brazil to Angola. And she fought fearlessly for 40 years, even though they terrorized her family and her kingdom. She united the Mbangala and the Uvuambu, and she united other groups of people in the motherland to fight. And they couldn't conquer her. They call her the Black Terror. They couldn't conquer Angola until she had passed away peacefully on December the 17th, 1663. And she is my hero. And so when I practice Capoeira Angola, she is my princess, my queen, the one who fought for me to possibly be here today standing before you. And so when I practice Capoeira Angola, I'm giving honor and reverence to the warrior mothers and the warrior sisters, the warrior princesses and the warrior queens who fought against slavery and fought against injustice. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you all for being here today for this wonderful event in remembrance of our ancestors and who we are, continuing their legacy, carrying on our gifts, our talents, and our purposes here. So I thank you all for joining us. I practice Capoeira, and when I do remember my ancestors, my Haitian ancestors as well as my African ancestors who were brought to the Caribbean. And it is a form of dance, it's a form of expression, but it's also, as Sekou said, it is a form of character, showing your character, showing your comedic side, showing your serious side, but mostly it was a form of the men showing how much strength they actually have and how they were still protectors even as enslaved people. they had their form of protecting themselves and their families. So when I practiced Capoeira Angola, I remember our strong men who have for years, for eons, protected us as Black women and children, wives and mothers. So thank you all for being here again, and please enjoy the show.
Habari Gani.
UMOjA.
Spade. My name is Palanka, and I'm a practitioner of Capoeira Angola. I train with Sekou. African culture is not a monolith, right? Not everybody's the same. And so when you leave somewhere and you go somewhere else and you spend a lot of time there, things shift, things change, become something new, right? It's still African. And that's capoeira, like jazz, like blues, like all of that, right? We keep what was ours and it adjusts to our situations and our context, right? So that's why you have Laja in Martinique and you have capoeira that came out of Brazil, right? That's why you have compa in Haiti and you have jazz and blues here. So capoeira is a resistance, not just to be able to physically defend yourself, but by being able to carry on all the stories of your ancestors, the myth of your people, and to carry it down and pass it along. And not just to sit in a class and be like, oh, this person then had this person and this person was born and did this. No, it's the stories that are passed down from teacher to student, from classmates, and sharing and jokes and how we react to things. And that's what capoeira is. You can't do it by yourself, period.
Thank you, thank you. So on that note, it's time for some action, y'all. Here's a little bit of Capoeira Angola. That was a little taste of Capoeira Angola. All right. So what you saw looks like a dance, a fight, and some other things. So it's kind of hard to decipher what's going on, right? It's like, what are they doing? Kind of like interweaving and having a bodily conversation, right? So that's what's happening here. So what our ancestors did, which I think was ingenious, was to hide this deadly form of martial art in a dance form. So it's looks very playful, and it's performed, of course, to music, so it made it difficult for them, the slave masters, to see what they were doing, what they were actually practicing a martial art form. As you can see, these instruments are directly from Africa, and they're central to Capoeira, so there's no denying its roots, because oftentimes in Brazil, you hear stories about Capoeira being Brazilian, and they try to remove it from its African roots. So it's very important for us to continue to promote and share the proper history of Capoeira and in regards to its place in Africa or in our culture. Any questions? Yeah. The materials, okay, these are from nature. We have what's called biriba.
It's the Vega is made out of.
We have various parts to this instrument, right? So we have, let's start with the main parts, right? The Vega, which is made out of a special wood called biriba. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we have the cabasa here. In this case, in a capoeira orchestra, or what we call a band or bateria, typically it's 3 birimbas, okay? This is called a gunga. It has the largest gorg. Then you have a medium one. Then you also have a smaller one called viola, okay? So that's the gorg, cabasa. And then we have arame, which is the metal string that pull this all together, okay? So the metal string comes from the wall of a tire. So, you know, you have to cut, it's very, it's arduous process to get the wire out. Once you get the wire out, then you, of course, have to shave it and cut it up and measure it and all that. So that's the birimbau, okay? And part of the birimbau is a shaker called kashishi, and also baqueta. Okay, that's the stick that you strike the instrument with. And I don't have a special dobrão, but this is called a dobrão. Okay. So yeah, he has a special one, as you can see. Mine's just a rock. It's just. All right. So, any other questions about the birimbau? Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? Curious?
Anyone want to know how to do that?
What's your
flip?
question? No. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Where's the group?
The Capoeira group, we're in Dania Beach, and we also have classes in Miami. Okay, so if you're interested, come see us, and we can give you more information. And we're open to do workshops and travel, so all that kind of stuff. Any other questions?
I heard someone want to do the flip over.
Anyone want to try a little capoeira, a little bit?
Yeah.
Maybe bust a little ginga, negativa, ole, or something like that? No? All right, on that note. Okay, so a little bit of history of the reason I wear white, the reason we wear white. My teacher, Grande Mestre João Grande, who's still alive today, he's 87 years old. And his teacher, Mestre Pastinha, that's the lineage I come from, Mestre Pastinha teacher was an Angolan named Benedito, so we come from that lineage. So my teacher is a practitioner of a religion called Candomblé. It's an African-based religion, sort of like voodoo and Santeria in Cuba, that fuses Catholicism with Yoruba. So Candomblé is a popular African religion in Brazil, and my teacher is a practitioner, so oftentimes they wear white. And so in connection to Capoeira, a lot of the practitioners of Capoeira, the old masters, were also connected to that African religion of Candomblé. So oftentimes they will wear white as a show of respect for the Orishas. So, and in Capoeira, when we were able to practice the art, oftentimes it would be on Sunday. So Sundays, in the old days, we would wear our best as if Capoeira was considered like going to church for us. So it was a place for us to get freshly dressed and come and perform Capoeira. And those who were adepts and were skilled in the game, if you were able to come out of the game really clean with your fresh whites, that showed your mastery of the game. So henceforth we wear white. So that's the reason. Any other question?
Give him a round of applause. All right.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you.
Give him another round of applause. Yeah. Yeah, Symbols.
Habari Gani. Little bit weak. Habari Gani. All right, one more time.
I didn't hear nothing on this side.
I know. Habari Gani. Which means unity. That's right. That's right. My name is Brother Jumoke Fetayo. I have just recently relocated here to South Florida. Loving it. Brother, you heard earlier Sister Sophia talk about how we organized 7 days of Kwanzaa last year. I was a part of the impetus of that, leaving Atlanta. It was like, you know, he said, my brother Malik said, you can come down here and do Kwanzaa. For 7 days, we could do it outside. I said, all right, that sounds awesome. And so we made it happen. Let me add a little bit also about the permission to speak from the elders, which let me do that right now. I'm going to get permission to speak from the elders. I get Ashe? Ashe! Okay, thank you. I just wanted to add to that conversation also, in African tradition, the elders are not necessarily just because of age. The elders are because of the wisdom that they have displayed in the community, the leadership that they have displayed in the community, the sacrifices that they've made in the community. So we jokingly say we got elders and we got olders, right? But the elders are those who are respected and revered in the community. And I take that very seriously, particularly when I'm in my community in Atlanta. There are elders who do know me. And they could say, like the brother said earlier, no, Jumoke, we don't like some things that you did. You can't speak before the community. And I usually ask very specific elders in my community that know me and know what I'm about, know how I deal with my family and my children and everything, to get their permission. And they give me their permission. So there's something, again, we talked about it earlier, I just wanted to add my little piece to it. All right, so I've been asked to, in partnership with Brother Akbar, to talk about the symbols of Kwanzaa. Every holy day, every holiday has symbols, right? When you think about Halloween, you think about, what do you think about?
Pumpkins, googles. And
okay, let me do this over again. Let me start. There's something else I need to put in. All right. In African tradition, we're calling response people. You know, like the church, when the preacher say, can I get amen? Amen. At a party, you say, can I get a yo? Yo. All right, that's how we do with Kwanzaa also, because that's African tradition, they're calling response. All right. So with Halloween, right, you get witches, you got goblins, you got pumpkins, jack-o'-lantern. 4th of July, we got fireworks. So different Christmas, you got Christmas trees and lights and Santa Claus, and we won't get into all of that. But Kwanzaa also has symbols as well.
And even with those holidays I just mentioned, those symbols have stories and meanings behind them. A lot of times we don't know what they mean, we just can perpetuate them. But it's important that we know what they mean for those holidays as well as for Kwanzaa. So Kwanzaa has basically 7 main symbols. And I got an extra one here. It has 7 main symbols. And we use the Kiswahili, Kiswahili as the language for Kwanzaa. And I'm going to again ask you to be, call in response. So this is called an mkeka. Everybody say mkeka. Mkeka. This is a straw mat. This is what you use to put down on your Kwanzaa table. This represents our African foundation. This represents the fact that we as African people were the first to bring civilization forward. Religion, math, science, architecture, engineering, medicine, health, family, politics, economics, whatever you can think about that deals with family, that deals with civilization. We were the first to bring it forward in Africa, and not only the first to bring it forward, I like to say took it to its highest levels. Pass the mic.
Well, I think I'll start with so many things. The Emoji Cup. I'll do the Emoji Cup. Our Unity Cup. Oh, I'm Kianga Janaki, a local artist. I've been practicing Kwanzaa for a little bit. So. The UMOjA Cup is what we would place our drink that is passed around to the members of the family. Each member of the family takes a sip from the cup. And that's how it connects us to each other.
Okay, and the sister mentioned the Kakombe Child Emoji, Unity Cup. We passed it around just to connect with us. It was a symbolic gesture to make one unit. And some people came in late, and feel free to come up and grab the cup and just pour a little bit on the ground. Just come up, and if you haven't grabbed it, just come and grab the cup and pour a little bit on the ground. Ashe? And you can, if you want to, you can call one of your ancestors out and just pour it out, just to connect with the larger group. Okay. So the next symbol we'll do is the Canara. Canara has 7 holes, and it is symbolic of the stalk. The stalk. The stalk is what everything grows off of. Everybody understand when I say stalk? Yeah, the stalk. And the 7 holes is for holding the principles that we have within ourselves that came off the stalk. In other words, we are the tree, and outside of us or inside of us are principles. And it's the 7 holes. Ashe? Ashe.
And in Swahili, this is called Kikombe Cha Umoja. Everybody say Kikombe? Kikombe. Cha Umoja. Umoja. And in Kiswahili, the candle holder is called Canara. Everybody say Canara? Canara. All right. So, as mentioned earlier today, Kwanzaa is a first fruits harvest festival. If you look around the world, anybody who is, when people grow their own food, they recognize that there's life forces in that food. And in order to have a successful crop, you have to know that life is going to permeate into that food. And so what we do, and what cultures all around the world do, is have what's called harvest festivals. And so part of your Kwanzaa setup is you would have what's called mazao. Everybody say mazao? Mazao. Which is the fruits of the harvest. Well, most of us aren't growing food, although it's getting more popular now, right? People getting backyard gardens and things like that. But one of the things we want to think about, and young people, and really everybody, you want to think about what are the things that you've harvested this year, right? Let's say you set a goal to get a new job, to start a business, to get married, to buy a house, buy a car, whatever goals you set for yourself, to lose some weight, gain some weight, whatever, right? If you were successful this year in obtaining your goal, that's your harvest. That's what you have harvested, right? And I also like to, usually at this time, we often would recognize the youngest person in the room. Sometimes we recognize the oldest and the youngest. So our fruits of our harvest. I see a young baby back there. Who is she with? Well, that looks like our youngest one that no, there's a baby carriage over there. Okay, there's a baby over there. All right, let's welcome them. Let's give them a hand clap. Welcome them into our community as part of our harvest. Ashe.
To add to that, the harvest, we have our corn. And the corn is symbolic of the children in the family. And for each member, each child in your family, you should have an ear of corn. If you don't have children, you want to have corn just to represent the children in the community or the children that you hope to come. And Swahili, thank you, Mbuzi is the name, Labuzi for the corn. For the corn.
Okay. And what we do is the number of children that are in our home, we put this on the mat. What the corn represent is the future generation. So the kernels that are inside of the corn represent the future generations that are inside of him. So what we do is we put one on the mat, symbolic for every child. And if we don't have any children in the home, we put at least 2 of them up there. Ashe? Ashe. The next symbol.
The Zawadi and the candles.
Here's the Zawadi.
Zawadi, the gift.
Right here.
Yeah. The Zawadi is the gift, 7 days. We usually give these out, and we usually do cultural items. That's something that you made, you created, or something that has to do with the culture. We don't go out and buy motorcycles and all that other stuff. We try to stay away from commercialism of buying stuff. But you want something like books, or maybe cultural items like bracelets or something we make throughout the year.
Or Akbar. Or he made a hat back there.
Who made the hat?
His Kwanzaa hat.
You made the hat? Come on, bring it up so we can see it. So the spirit of Kwanzaa, what he did was, he created, I'm sorry, what's your name? Gani is called Kumba. That's one of the spirits. So he created a Kwanzaa hat. Is it a Kwanzaa hat? It's a Kwanzaa hat. So we'll have the children at our homes or whatever wear these hats. Give him a round of applause because he did a great job. This is going to be probably the future fashion designer. Yeah. What's the guy name? Just Abelo. You ever heard of Abelo? Anybody ever heard of Abelo? Yeah, he just transitioned. He was the fashion designer for Louis Vuitton. Virgil Abloh. That's his name? Yeah, he was a fashion designer. So we're looking at probably our future fashion designer. It starts here. Ashe? Yeah, we'll do. Okay, we'll do the symbols. So outside of the stalk are the principles. So it's 7 principles. I guess we'll grab one apiece. Yeah, we'll grab one apiece. The first one is UMOjA, unity. And let me say something about the symbols. The symbols are the spiritual principles that's inside of us, and these are symbolic of it. So this is the first day, unity, UMOjA. So what we do throughout the year is we struggle. We struggle for unity. It's uncomfortable, it's goofy, it's awkward, but we fight for unity in the family and in our community. You know, we may be falling out with somebody in the house, but we struggle to unite. And at the 26th of December, we bring that struggle to a celebration by showing the symbol of that struggle, and that's the unity candle. So we fight to maintain unity. That's Malika, that's you back there? Yeah, we fight for and maintain the unity in our family and our community. Ashe? Ashe.
Ashe yo. The next candle is Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. And back in the day, that was the principle that we used when we changed our names, when we embraced African names. So that's self-determining, when you're claiming your name and when you're claiming your heritage by the way you dress, and claiming your heritage by reading about us and learning. So no one can tell you about you because you've read about it. So that's Kujichagulia, self-determination.
The next principle is Ujima. Everybody say Ujima. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility, making our brothers' problems and sisters' problems our problem and solving them collectively. When we think about Ujima, we think about all of the things that our community organizations do in our community to uplift people. People may work with programs to help the homeless or feed people or whatever you do to think about beyond your own personal needs, but what's the needs that you see in the community, how we come together to address those needs. And I just would also like to add for the young people, when we think about Kuji Chagalia, because some of us you've heard say have African names, but you think about like hip hop artists, everybody has changed their name, even, musicians and, people didn't even know, like Martin Luther King's real name isn't even Martin Luther King. He changed his name, right? So it's okay to practice self-determination, to get a name that you feel is more reflective, even though your parents may have given you a name, but you can add to that a name that's more reflective of what you see your mission and power on earth to be. Kuji Chagalia and Ujima, the next principal.
Ujima, Cooperative Economics. Okay, so these principles do not come easy. They are ingrained in us and they're embedded in us. So we fight to bring them to life. So cooperative economics, this is a tough one, especially when you got places like Walmart, Kmart, these superstores. This one is a struggle. This one is a struggle. And what we do, go ahead. Come on.
I just want to give an example.
Yeah, a good example.
And we've all seen it. You've seen the neighborhoods where they farm in their front yard. Each house has a victory garden or farm in the front house, in front of the yard. And each neighbor works with the other neighbors to determine what food this one is growing and how we can trade. So if you're growing the collard greens and the onions, and I'm growing the carrots, right, and the potatoes, then we can trade and we all eat. Cooperative economics. It's coming back slowly to our communities, and we need to be deliberate about bringing it back, okay? We work together. Cooperative economics. We have a acupuncturist here in our community. Her son is a volunteer at the Spade Museum. She takes yoga at the Spade Museum. We get acupuncture services from her. We need to be deliberate about bringing this concept back to our communities. This is how we survive when political maneuverings leave us out in the cold. This is how we take care of ourselves. Sorry.
All right, great. Cooperative economics. Anybody got a business they want to plug right quick?
Kianga Art. Oh, I was just going to Kianga Art. I am an artist. I sell African fabric. I make quilts, dolls, and mixed media works that honor our heritage using traditional African textiles.
Kianga Art.
That's coming up. We got you.
We got you. We get the rest of the business. But I'll wrap this up and say it. Come on.
I am a permaculture instructor. I teach sustainable agriculture and economics. And thank you. I have an online class. I teach people how to live off-grid, how to use solar panels, how to create your own garden, how to take care of your own soil, how to use nutrients, how to do all of that good stuff, even how to build a house out of natural materials. I teach all of that. I've been studying for 7 years with African and indigenous communities, studying permanent agriculture, or just the way that our ancestors farmed, right, and lived off grid. So that's what I do. My name is Naomi, and my business is called Shashat's Herbs. If you're interested, come plug me.
Come on. See, we talk about people like Jeff Bezos that combine Amazon with Whole Foods. This is our Whole Foods right here. This is our Jeff Bezos. And see, we can't make it, and she can't make it unless we make her make it. She needs all of us. So the creator, we had Mansa Musa, was the most wealthiest man in the world. We have to see our strength in her. And she has a responsibility to supply the best goods to us. Right. And we don't worry about the price. Whatever her price is, we pay it. Yes. And we don't go to no what is it? Walgreens and all that because they sell it for $1 a pound and she's selling it for $4 a pound. It's cheaper with her with $4 a pound. She said deliberate. We spend the money and we don't question it, but we make sure she delivers a quality product. And at the end of the day, what she does, she gives back to the community. And she points to Kwanzaa events at Spade. Ashe? Ashe. All right.
And its purpose, Nia. Okay. The fifth principle of Kwanzaa is Nia. And it's about being about purpose. Whatever your dreams are, whatever you can bring to our community, you bring it strong and walk in purpose and be on purpose. Nia. I know you want to say something.
The next principle is Kaumba. Everybody say Kaumba. Kaumba means creativity. Making our community more beautiful than we inherited it. For me, when I think about Kaumba, though, I think about beyond music and dance, although I love music and dance. I love music and dance. I think about our creativity when it comes to science, math, and engineering, and all that we have created as Black people and African people brought to this world. You know, we came here, we stopped at stoplights that were created by Garrett Morgan. The cell phones were partly invented by people of African descent. And we could go on and on and on and on with all of the science and technology and mathematics that we've contributed, inventions that we've contributed to civilization. So to me, when I think of creativity, I think of our engineering and math genius of how we solve problems and how we create things to address the problems in our community. Kaumba.
And the last one is Imani. That's faith. We practiced that on January the 1st. So what faith is that we take January the 1st after we done celebrated and we're winding it up, so we're preparing for the new year. So what we do as a family and a community, we spend time in silence with the young ones. Takes 30 minutes, an hour, and we just sit in silence. And what happens in that position of sitting in silence, this is done on January the 1st because we were preparing for a whole nother year where we're finna go to work. And so we sit in silence, and the young ones know that within that quiet time, the ancestors and the spirit of the universe will speak to him, and he will have divine messages that will come to him. But he has to have that quiet time to himself. It may take 30 minutes, it may take 45 minutes, it may take an hour, but January the 1st, we sit in silence. And what happened is a divine spirit will penetrate his consciousness. I won't tell him. He will know it. And he will have an idea on how he's going to execute the rest of the remaining year. He will do it, and I will do it. And what we will do is with that divine spirit, we will map out a plan of execution. We will write our plan down. This is on January the 1st for the whole year, and we will struggle, and we will fight for the rest of the year to materialize it. His may be to pass the next grade level, or he may want to create something, design something. But whatever the spirit tells him, what we will do, we will help him to execute it. And you might say he might be too young. Well, Tutankhamun, King Tut, he was 18 years old, and he ran one of the biggest nations in the world. So he can do whatever it is that the ancestral spirit says to him. So on January the 1st, Imani is faith. Faith in ourselves. faith in our families, and faith in our communities. And how we practice that is time of silence. Ashe?
Ashe.
And that's your seventh principle. Go ahead.
Well, I just want as an elder to say, and I didn't hear it, the founder of Kwanzaa is still living, 80 years old, Malana Karenga is in California. And it's his genius that we do this 40-some years later. Thank you.
Echo that.
She said, respect to the founder, Malana Karenga, is we celebrate Kwanzaa. And let's look at the beauty of what Malana Karenga did. The beauty of what he did, and keep in mind, each year the U.S. government puts out a new Kwanzaa stamp. So when we go to the post office, we can buy a Kwanzaa stamp each year. The founder of Kwanzaa, what he did was he gave this gift to the community. Yeah, he gave it to us. And the reason why we have different people up here, because it's non-heroic. None of us run Kwanzaa. We're just spectators in the participation and the flow of it. Kwanzaa is all of us. We can't take ownership of it because the founder of Kwanzaa gave it to us. That is the African spirit. It ain't consumerism. It ain't it's mine. I created this. Look what I done. It's we. It's us. That's why we have to struggle, and it's uncomfortable. We can't take credit for it. The credit is the whole family. It's the whole unit. This is the struggle that we're up against. Okay. Yeah. And it's not about me. It's about we. That's why we started with the elders. I need the elders in my life because I don't know it all. And Kwame has a snapshot of this reality. I don't care how many books I read, how much degree I get. He will always have that snapshot of this reality that I will never have. There was a time that a lot of us can remember. See, Ron, you remember it, when there was not a 95 here. The young people don't know that. They just know 95 is here. Can you remember a time there was a 95? No. We used to go Federal Highway. Dixie Highway. Dixie. We had to go Dixie Highway. So we have a snapshot that we can't get in books, we can't get in school, we can't get in learning. It's just by coming into this realm. So that's why it's unity. That's why we did with the ancestors, and that's why we do with the elders, and now we're going to do it with the youth. And what we do, Daniel, bring the baby up. I think the candles next.
Yeah, like the candles.
Bring the baby up. So the principles, I just ran into it. Somebody supposed to do it for me?
No, you.
Okay. The principles are inside of us, and what happened during Kwanzaa, we bring those principles to life. So the symbols of those principles, we bring them to life. How we bring them to life is with the symbol of, the symbolic meaning is the fire. So we brought the younger one up because fire is hot and it's dangerous. So what we do is we assist the young people in this process. We did it for babies inside of ours. She was just, it's just a gesture. So what that means is whatever hot issues, we'll start when they're young. Whatever hot issues that they're dealing with that's internal, they don't do it by themselves. Because the flame could come back and burn them. This is why we do it as a unit. And we teaching them at an early age that if you have an issue that is difficult to deal with, you don't do it alone. You ask for help. So when you're dealing with those flames, you don't do it by yourself. You ask for help. And we start now, even while the child is in the womb. So when they come out, we do it as a unit. So whatever flames or whatever problems in life, we'll do it together. So she may not want to bring it to me. She may want to bring it to the brother. She may want to bring it to the sister. So what he has is a whole family here. And so what we do is we do this by these symbolic gestures. I know the first thing, and I'll shut up. When we do this, I know you, because we've been doing it for 20 years. So if a baby was 1, now they're 20, they have been lighting the candles. So the young people will participate in that. We're not doing it, we're just going to do the UMOjA. But each day, we will light that principle and bring it to life. And we will talk about the struggle that we did throughout the year and how we're celebrating it. Ashe?
Ashe.
Give him a strong black hand, strong black hand. Give him a strong black hand. With some energy. Okay, family. We're coming to the middle of our program. For those who don't know me, my name is Malik Shabazz. And real quick, we want everybody to support the vendors. Go around, check out the vendors, kick it with them, support them if you can. And also we have, that's that. And also inside for a $5 donation, we got sweet potato and lentil stew, rice, tabbouleh salad, choice of black bean brownies or pumpkin muffins. It's all vegan and bottled water. So we want to take this time to get some chow to our bellies, get a chance to check out the vendors and talk with them. And we're going to come back.
Yeah, I was just thinking during this time, we really want you to get up and move around. One of my elders used to always say, if you come to Kwanzaa and you haven't met anybody new, you're not celebrating Kwanzaa. So get up, support the vendors, meet someone new, and enjoy the vibe, and we'll be back with the program very shortly.
Yes, just go out of your way to meet somebody. If you don't know a person, just greet yourself, you know. Greetings, good sister, greetings, brethren, whatever, you know. Or you want to talk the street, yo, what up? You know, what up? So let's do that, let's break. The food's inside at the little brown house. So the drummers are gonna give you the vibrations with the beats and move around, introduce yourself to other people, check out the vendors, support. You got Baba Pearson over here. Over here we got Radical Designs for Radical Minds. We got a Spade table there. We got some sisters over there. And we got some other stuff going there. So do your thing and we'll be back in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. What? 15 minutes. I stand corrected. 15 minutes.
And I'll show you something, what we said. So I wasn't, this is what we've been doing for how many years? 7 years? So we have a picture of us 7 years ago where we had started this, and he lit the candle. He wasn't even 1 year old. He was 1, or before 1? Before 1, he had lit the candle. So he's 7 now? So it's not I'm picking on him. He has been doing this for 7 years. So ask his sister to look at his picture 7 years ago when we did it. All right, thank you.